What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pyro Slays Music, and today I want to try something a little different. And the reason I'm even filming a reaction for this, we had a couple comments sent my way. Somebody dropped one on YouTube, and I had actually a couple messages as well, basically asking me to include music with my reviews that I was doing on YouTube, which I'm not going to do because I'm not doing that as a reaction channel and it's strictly talking about music, which means that most likely I need to get better at diving into the details of things, and just being a little bit more descriptatory, if that's even a word. So, what I'm doing is I'm filming a reaction for this, the Velvet Underground and Nico. This is self-titled. This is the 45th anniversary that we're checking out, but we'll probably only check out the track listing that is on the from the original release. Oh my God, I can't talk. I listened to 3 albums recently, as I had. There's a video I'll drop down in the comments. For basically, I wanted to check out some proto-punk albums, some art rock, some original experimental style rock. And the 3 that I ended up on were the Red Crayola, God Bless the Red Crayola, and All Who Sails at Seas, or something along those lines. The Sonics and the Monks, excuse me, with their album Black Monk Time. Those are the albums I kind of fell on, and I wanted to just kind of explore something different, and it was cool. Now, a little context, typically with the 60s, I never really could get into the style of music. My uncle listened to a lot of 70s and 60s music, and I just never really kind of connected with it. I will admit, though, as I've gotten older, 70s music has really warmed up on me from that decade. So just probably a weird kind of listener quirk I got somewhere along the way. I decided as a kid I didn't like 60s, and it could be something about, I grew up a lot. I was a metalhead, so everything that wasn't metal was shit. And then kind of coming out of that, in the teenage years, late teenage years, I started getting into different music and like rap, hip hop, and pop, and then we found our way at punk and all kinds of stuff, right? So it's been a cool kind of progression. So now I'm trying to force upon myself this sound of the 60s, trying to kind of understand where everything came from, right? I always love documentaries and stuff, and I've heard these people's names mentioned, whether it be Andy Warhol, I heard Lou Reed's name mentioned so many times, but never knew where he came from. Honestly, my first interaction with Lou Reed was not all that pleasant. It was the Metallica album Lulu that they collaborated with, and it was not good. But I just couldn't even understand why Metallica would want to fucking do something with this goofball, right? And which shows how uneducated I was, that apparently they're the reason a lot of this music exists. So that is cool. And yeah, so here we are. We're going to try something different. Now, I did look up Nico, because I'd never heard of Nico for sure. I've definitely heard of the Velvet Underground, but funny enough, I got them confused with Velvet Revolver a lot. So you can see how clueless I am. Nico, and yeah, so she's a singer and a songwriter, actress, model. Okay. But this album apparently was known for its abrasive, unconventional sound and controversial lyric content, and basically, according to Wikipedia here, became one of the most influential albums in rock and pop history, one of the greatest albums of all time. Which that's huge. That's a very man. But apparently, he delivers explicit lyrics spanning themes of drug abuse, prostitution, sadomasochism, and urban life. So we have some stuff that some rather in-depth lyrical content, or at least some even if it is, we'll find out. Let's just get into it and listen. I just wanted kind of an idea of what I was getting into a little bit. But very cool to finally put a voice to some of these people's names, like Lou Reed. So let's get into it. Let's turn this up.
Sunday morning brings the dawn in. It's just a restless feeling by my side. Early dawning, Sunday morning. It's just the wasted years so close behind. Watch out, the world's behind you. There's always someone around you who will call. It's nothing at all. Sunday morning, and I'm falling. I've got a feeling I don't want to know. Early dawning, Sunday morning. It's all the streets you cross not so long ago. Watch out, the world's behind you. There's always someone around you who will call. It's nothing at Watch out, the world's behind you. There's always someone around you who will call. It's nothing at all. Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday
Damn, that was really chill. I think there was only 2 notes used in the guitar there the entire time, and it was very simple, yet it brought a really nice vibe. And again, you're not expecting something super complex because this is where it started, right? All the experimental, I mean, it's straightforward, but it's very pleasant. Very pleasant. And I actually was really impressed here with the vocals because, again, Lulu, he's very, very much more raspy from what I recall. It's been a bit since I listened to that album. I think I listened to it on release and then never went back to it. But this was cool. This was cool. Let's go back here and go to the next one, which is I'm Waiting for the Man. And there's 2 sides to this as well. Oh, I see on Spotify they just kind of included it all in one, but originally there was like 4 songs, it looks like, on like side 1 and the rest were on side 2. So just kind of cool that you forget about that. The old cassettes are, well, this would be fucking way before cassettes. Holy shit. Sorry. I had a 90s flashback and then 90s self-slapped myself and was like, oh shit. This is probably like, was this before 8-track? This is probably before 8-track too, right? Oh, shit. Just vinyl? 45? I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
Sunday morning.
It's like, damn, this beat is really familiar.
$6 in my hand. Up to Lexington, 125. Feel sick and dirty, more dead than alive. I'm waiting for my man. Hey, white boy, what you doing uptown? Hey, white boy, you chasing all women around. Oh, pardon me, sir, it's furthest from my mind. I'm just looking forward to a dear friend of mine. I'm waiting for my man. He comes, he's all dressed in black. He wore shoes and a big straw hat. He's never early, he's always late. First thing you learn is that you always gotta wait. I'm waiting for my man. All working now. Up to a brownstone, up 3 flights of stairs. Everybody's pinned you, but nobody cares. He's got the works, gives you sweet taste. Oh, then you gotta spit because you got no time to waste. I'm waiting for my man. Baby, don't you holler, darling, don't you bawl and shout. I'm feeling good, you know I'm gonna work it on out. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling oh so fine. Into tomorrow, but that's just some other time. I'm waiting for my man. Walk it home. That's all right.
Oh yeah. So all right. So first, let's talk about the song. I absolutely love that piano. Just doing its thing there. Nothing extravagant, but it just really added to the sound. Gave it that piano rock vibe. And honestly, you could see a lot. Like this really kind of shows off that early classic rock vibe. And I'm really here for this song. Like this song was like night and day comparatively. Like the first one I was like, okay, I like this. You know, this is pretty good. But this one was like, I'm gonna have to listen to that first one again because this was really good. Like, I like this one a lot. Now, it could just be my natural inclination to lean towards the rock sound or the bar style sound, because I am a simple man. It reminds me of like Roadhouse, like those 80s movies where they always had the guy playing a piano at the bar, like that kind of style. And I've always loved that. Also, originally, this was not the album I was going to check out by Velvet Underground. I was actually going to check out, it was like White Lightning. It was the one right after this. But I thought it might be smarter to check out their first album, like just one album, right? So listen to that one and then come back to the White Lightning or whatever, the White Heat, the one right after this. Holy cow, what was it called? I'm going to have to look it up real quick because that's going to bother the hell out of me. Wow. Albums, show all. White Light, White Heat. So that was the one I was originally going to check out. So if everything goes, well, oh my gosh, I see, Velvet Underground. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Let's go to the next one here. Real quick, the intro of this is recalling something else I should have mentioned about the last track. On the outro, I was starting to get a little bit more, some of those experimental elements. I expected to be a little heavier, actually, on this. But that could just be after sitting through the Red Crayola. I'm expecting God knows what sent at me. Because there's some wild sounds in there. But the piano was off-key. There were some production sounds that were kind of like popping in and out that I caught. So I was getting a little bit more of an instrumental or maybe even production experimental style. And I'm catching that a little bit here on the intro as well. I'll back this up and restart because I want to respect the whole thing. The whole process, right? Like, there's nice sizzle to this production. I like that.
Here she comes. You better watch your step.
That vocal distortion?
She's going to break
That's just
your heart
production.
in two. It's true. It's not hard to realize. Just look into her false-colored eyes. She'll build you up to just put you down. What a clown, 'cause everybody knows the things she does to please. She's just a little tease. See the way she walks. Hear the way she talks. You're written in her book. You're number 37, have a look. She's gone to smile to make you frown. What a clown. Little boy, she's from the street. Before you start, you're already beat. She's gone to play you for a fool. Yes, it's true, 'cause everybody knows the things she does to please. She's just a little tease. See the way she walks. Hear the way she talks. 'Cause everybody knows the things she does to please. She's just a little tease. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh.
So this song's what do they used to call it? A lady of the night. So this is about a lady of the night. I could see why that would be upsetting to the 60s. If they could only, like, they would have had a stroke here in WAP, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. I'm loving this. This was, like, Nico's voice was great. I'm loving that production kind of, I don't know if it was like a distortion, like used on purpose, or if it was just the actual production that, of the time. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I was really, really enjoying that. Really straightforward here, but just everything works. Everything works. I'm really impressed. Venus and First. Here we go.
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather. Whiplash, girl child in the dark. Comes in bells, your servant, don't forsake him. Strike, dear mistress, and cure his heart. Sins of streetlight fancies, chase the costumes she shall wear. Ermine furs adorn imperious. Severin, Severin awaits you there. Sleep for 1,000 years, 1,000 dreams that would awake me. Different colors made of tears. Kiss the boot of shiny, shiny leather. Shiny leather in the dark. Tongue the thongs, the belt that does await you. Strike, dear mistress, and cure his heart. Severin, Severin, speak so slightly. Severin, down on your bended knee. Taste the whip, in love not given lightly. Taste the whip, now bleed for me. Sleep for 1,000 years, 1,000 dreams that would awake me. Different colors made of tears. Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather. Whiplash girl, child in the dark. Severin, your servant, comes and bells. Please don't forsake him. Strike, dear mistress, and cure his heart.
All right. That was like hypnotic. That was very hypnotic. The twanging of the different chords, like the sound, like was like keeping me fully distracted. And then like I had to like purposefully like listen to a different element of the song, and then I was getting a lot of the rhythm, and then I came in towards the end of catching some of these lyrics, and I'm like, what are we talking about? I don't know. Interesting. The sound of this one, I like I said, it was very hypnotic. I'm not sure how I feel about it, like comparatively to the others. Like I think I might enjoy the other three more than this one, but not to say that this was a problem, especially if we're talking experimental wise. Like the twanging was actually pretty cool. I like that it was kind of hypnotic. I'm not expecting I'm going to listen to this every day kind of experience from this band. But honestly, like a couple of the tracks we've already listened to, I could jam out to daily. It wouldn't bother me a bit. But that one was a little bit more experimental, especially rhythmically, and I do think it was cool. Run, Run. Well, this was out of its time.
Teenage Mary said to Uncle Dave, I sold my soul, must be saved. Gonna take a walk down Union Square. You never know who you're gonna find there. You gotta run, 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 run. Take the jacket too. Run, 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 run. Gypsy death for you. Tell you what you do. Margarita Passion, they had to get her fixed. She wasn't well, she was getting sick. Went to sell her soul, she wasn't high. Didn't know things she could buy if she would run, 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 run. Take a jacket too. Run, 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 run. Gypsy death in you. Tell you what to do.
Oh, God. That was terrible. I'm sorry to hear it. Oh, yeah, this just sounds like the devil's music.
Sarah had a golden nose, hobnail boots wrapped around her toes. When she turned blue, all the angels screamed. They didn't know, they couldn't make her sing. She had a run, 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 run. Take a jacket too. Run, 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 run. Gypsy death in you. Tell you what to do. Beardless Harry, what a waste. Couldn't even get, say, small town taste. Rode the trolleys down to 47. Figured if he was good, he'd get himself to heaven. Cause that run, 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 take a deck or two. Run, 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 gypsy death in you. Tell you what to do.
Oh, that was awesome. Okay, so on this one, what I thought was the coolest was the shredding, because I'm pretty sure there was only a few chords used here, and they were just I don't know if this is gonna be used correctly, obviously, so you guys can correct me in the comments. I won't be offended, I promise. It basically, like, this is probably the first time in this earlier, like, it's like a very clear, you're using one chord and distorting the sound along the chord to make the shredding sound. I think I described that okay. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here. But that was very cool. And then it started getting a little wonky too towards the end of that shredding, and I was like, oh, like, it didn't sound like a Van Halen, if you will, or something like that, right? Where it was like very precise. This is like early shredding. We're just getting down and dirty with it. Sometimes it's on key, sometimes it's off key. Regardless, it was very cool to hear. And then what I liked, my favorite part, was the uglier it got towards the end of that breakdown or shred, whatever you want to call it. The transition back to the rhythmic sound was incredible. Like, that was a really cool transition. I loved that. Like, I was like, damn, okay. That was cool. And I'm definitely getting like old school rock and roll vibes here, so you can kind of see where this sound developed and stuff too. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. All tomorrow's parties. So Nico must only be on a few tracks, or like, spread out throughout the album. I haven't heard her on some of these.
And what costume shall the poor girl wear to all tomorrow's parties? A hand-me-down dress from who knows where to all tomorrow's parties. And where will she go? What shall she do when midnight comes around? She turned once more to Sunday's clown. cry behind the door.
Fade out? Oh, it's the start. Okay. Dying out.
And what costume shall the poor girl wear to all tomorrow's parties? Why, silks and rings of yesterday's gowns to all tomorrow's parties. And what will she do with Thursday's rags when Monday comes around? She turned once more to Sunday's clown and cry behind the door. And what costume shall the poor girl wear to all tomorrow's parties? For Thursday's child is Sunday's clown, for whom none will go mourning. A blackened shroud, a hand-me-down gown of rags and silks, a costume fit for one who sits and cries for all tomorrow's parties.
It's another one that's really hypnotic. So that was really interesting because the mixture of the guitar chords, the piano just hitting a couple those higher notes, like back and forth, and the drum that was used here kind of created this like hum, reverb, like there's a lot of reverb here. and then that hum mixed with those vocals really gave it a mesmerizing sound. Very different. Very different. I feel this was a cool experience, but I feel the same on this one as I did with what was the other one? Venus and Furs, I think maybe. It was good, but I'm not sure about it fully. Definitely a cool experience on first listen. Heroin is the next track. This is probably pretty controversial back then. That's a cool sound.
That I just don't know. It's my wife, and it's my life, because a mana to my vein leads to a center in my head, and then I'm better off than dead. Because when the smack begins to flow, I really don't care anymore about all the Jims in this town and all the politicians making crazy sounds and everybody putting everybody else down and all the dead bodies piled up in mounds. Because when the smack begins to flow, then I really don't care anymore. When that heroin is in my blood, and that blood is in my head, then thank God that I'm good as dead, and thank your God that I'm not aware, and thank God that I just don't care, and I guess I just don't know. Oh, and I guess I just don't know.
The end. Not only was that an incredible listen, but it was a hard listen. Because the track basically bases you in anxiety. And then you have the high, I don't know what you would call that, going crazy in the background there with like, kind of sound like nails on a chalkboard at times. But it kind of sounded like, I don't know, reminded me of like a violin being used to, I don't know. Regardless, kind of like represented the addiction, the bad things it was doing to them. And then they also used like the drums as like the person's heart. And then when they were doing the drug, it just fucking everything was incredible. Like you could just feel it through the instrumental, right? And at the very top of that, as it starts to come down, you start feeling like shit again. And then you have the addiction just gnawing at you. And then the lyrics would kind of like circle around about how like what it feels like when he's, and then it would come back to the buildup of, the addiction's getting to the point of it's unbearable and you're collapsing to the want to do something like this. And then again, it follows the ride up, the high, and then the collapse. And you get that all through the music and the instrumental, which is just really incredible in general. And I personally think songs like this are very important because this was back in the 60s and things have gotten way, way worse when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I'm sure that this was very controversial, not only then, but probably now. We like to kind of hide things in society that make us uncomfortable. And I think this track really represented that really good because it just bases you in that anxiety and the stress, and then you're also feeling like, man, you shouldn't be talking about heroin like this, you know what I mean? But it's the truth when it comes to the person addicted or what the drug does to you even, but it doesn't ever end well. But yeah, I could 100% see this being kind of, I don't know, vilified for sure, as like promoting it rather than being the addiction. And like, I feel like, you know, there's some people that probably wouldn't have gotten all that. And just being like, why are you talking about this thing? Maybe it should be talked about, especially with how bad things have gotten drug-wise on the streets and whatnot. So very cool track. While this isn't something I'm going to listen to hardly ever, I think, there were parts of this beat that really make me want to come back to this. So I'm going to put it in a playlist, see what happens with it. But I do think this is important just because in society we like to ignore the ugly things doesn't mean they're not there and that they're not a problem. And I think this is a really good representation of addiction. It encapsulates everything, and maybe even the high itself, and the downfall that follows that. Great track, though, regardless. So let's move on to the next one before I start talking in circles. There she goes again.
She's out on the streets again. She's down on her knees, my friend. But you know she'll never ask you please again. Now take a look, there's no tears in her eyes. She won't take it from just any guy. What can you do? You see her walking on down the street. Look at all your friends that she's gonna meet. Hit her. There she goes again. She's knocked down on her feet again. She's down on her knees, my friend. But you know she'll never ask you please again. Take a look, there's no tears in her eyes. Like a bird, you know she will fly. What can you do? You see her walking on down the street. Look at all your friends that you're gonna meet. You better hit her.
All right. That had a nice little beat. That one sounds a little closer to what, in my head at least, the sound at the time kind of like sounded like already anyways. Obviously some different things there a little bit with production and stuff. But in my head at least, that kind of sounds like the typical stuff around this era. At least in the, I guess you'd call it rock genre. I don't really know you would call it at the time. I don't think it was rock and roll yet, was it? Maybe with the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones were kind of considered, I don't know. Drop that in the comments, guys. Opinions. I'll be your mirror.
on your door to show that you're home. When you think the night has seen your mind, that inside you're twisted and unkind. Let me stand to show that you are blind. Please put down your hands, 'cause I see you. I find it hard to believe you don't know the beauty you are. But if you don't, let me be your eyes, a hand to your darkness, so you won't be afraid. When you think the night has seen your mind, that inside you're twisted and unkind. Let me stand to show that you are blind. Please put down your hands, 'cause I see you. I be your mirror. I be your mirror. I be your mirror. I be your mirror.
I was kind of getting a doo-wop vibe there a little bit for that one. Not too shabby, not too shabby. This one I'm so excited to get into, the Black Angels Death song. This sounds super controversial for the time. Oh, we're talking about a Black Angels Death song.
The choice of his fate set themselves out upon a plate for him to choose. What had he to lose? Not a ghost bloody country all covered with sleep, where the black angel did weep. Not an old city street in the east. Gone to choose. And Warren Ring's brother walked on through the night with his hair in his face, long along splintered cut from the knife of GT. The rally man's patter ran on through the dawn until we said so long to his skull. Shrill yell. Shining brightly red-rimmed and red-lined with the time abused with the choice of the mind on ice skate scraping chunks from the bills. Mouth bleeding razors forgetting the pain, antiseptic remains cuckooed by. So you fly to the cozy brown snow of the east. Gone to choose again. Sacrificials remain, make it hard to forget where you come from. The stools of your eyes serve to realize fame. Choose again. And robing his refrain of the sacrilege recluse for the loss of a horse with the bowels and the tail of a rat. Come again. Choose to go. And if Epiphany's terror reduced you to shame, have your head bobbed and weaved, choose a side to be on. And if the stone glances off, spit didactics into leave the color of mouse trails on screen, try between if you choose. If you choose, try to lose, for the loss of remain, come and start the game. I chi-chi, chi-chi-I. Chi-chi-chi, katako, choose to choose to go.
extremely uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable. I wanted to say that part of the song was about heroin as well, or maybe the whole thing, and I just didn't get it. But again, with the instrumental, kind of doing some odd things. But there was something about playing in the snow white dust of the east or something like that. It said, right, and that threw that kind of vibe at me. Where was it? And it was a lot of talking about choices and stuff. Right here. Cut the mouth, bleeding razors, forgetting the pain, antiseptic remains cool goodbye. So you fly to the cozy brown snow of the east, gone to choose again. So like you were like in that line right there, I was like getting the vibe that he was like choosing to go down this route again to the cozy brown snow of the east, which I'm assuming we're talking heroin again, or amphetamines of some sort or something. This is the last track though, European Sun. Yeah, I didn't get this last one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no clue, and I didn't get the same vibe that I did with heroin, where there was that. I clearly understood it. This was a little bit more panicked and. I don't even know. So this, like, if this was about heroin, if this was about like drugs of any sort, I would say that was like right in the throes of addiction, right in the middle of it, right smack in the middle, like where you're wanting to quit because you can feel it just killing your body, and you're struggling to do so. That's where I would guess if I had to put a guess out there. I don't know. You guys can correct me in the comments. European Sun. Buckle up. We got a almost 8 minute song here. The lyrics are small.
You killed your European son. You spit on those under 21. But now your blue cards are gone. You better sit so long. Hey, hey, bye, bye, bye. Made your wallpapers green. You want to make love to the scene. Your European sun is gone. You better stay so long. Your clouds treat you goodbye.
All right. That one hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was a rough track to listen to. This one might be a little too much in the realm of experimentation for me to enjoy. Like there were some cool textures there sonically, if that makes sense. Listening to it, especially with the production sound there. But yeah, that was ear murder. It was murdered my eardrums. This and the last track. Ouch. But again, you could see in these tracks where a lot of that raw punk sound came from later on, which was kind of cool. That raw sound in general, kind of borrowed by so many different, hell, even some of the, like thrash metal and stuff like that, I imagine. Probably borrowed from all this, which is really cool. There was some interesting sounds here. I think as a whole, I really do enjoy this project, and it was cool to see where a lot of bands that I've listened to over the years have gotten their sound from. Again, this was the point for me. I've listened to a lot of like newer punk, and I kind of want to see where punk developed from. So I just kind of looked up proto-punk on albumoftheyear.com, and these are the albums that came up, and a lot of them were like art rock proto-punk, right, mix. So I wanted to experience them a little bit and actually give them a chance. Again, like a lot of stuff in the 60s, I just never could get into the production, the overall sound. I thought it was boring because I was a kid. And I'm sure there's people that probably feel that way about this, but I actually was really impressed with the utilization of a lot of these instruments, and there was a really diverse sound here. And vocally, I really liked the way his cadence was over a lot of this. Like I got a lot of old school rock and roll vibes from his vocals, and Nico's vocals were nice as well. It was interesting because she utilized a lot more like kind of a deeper vocal style than I expected her to be utilizing. So that was nice as well. There's a lot of different stuff going on here, but melody wise, there was kind of a melody hidden within all of this. Some of them a little more poppier, some of them a little bit more on that rock style of things. But there was a melody even when things were distorted, except for maybe the last two tracks. But just for that reason, a lot of these I think I will come back to and I will be listening to. I'm really impressed with this. So I'm not going to give a rating here because I want to sit with this album for a while. I'm going to listen to it a couple more times and then decide if I'm going to do a review or not. I guess it depends on what you guys would like. So if you want me to do a review on this and further murder my music critic career, drop that down in the comments. And I'll throw one up maybe on my Pyro Slays Music side page there where I'm doing the reviews. I wasn't planning. There's so many reviews done to these. I wasn't really going to do a review, like a full-on album review, especially since I'm providing my thoughts here. But if it's really requested, then I will formulate an actual review without jamming the music. I'll go into a little more depth and stuff as well. But this was a cool experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed the ride with me. I am Pyro Slays Music. Drop down in the comments what your favorite track was on this. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Peace, guys.